Nearly 40,000 people have already chosen to live in Estero instead of Naples or Fort Myers, and trust me, it's not for the reason you think. With things like proximity to the airport and to the beach, it might surprise you to hear that Estero is up to $180,000 less for the same lifestyle in other areas. Hey, I'm John Garuti, and for going on 6 years now, I've been helping retirees find their perfect home right here in Southwest Florida. And today, I'm going to show you the 7 reasons why this is the most underrated retirement destination in the region. If you're searching for the perfect place to spend the best years of your life, there's never been a better time to do it here. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Most people know Naples, most people know Fort Myers, but the smartest retirees aren't choosing either one. They're choosing what sits right between them. That place is Estero, and the reasons will become crystal clear once I show you around. Here's what makes this place so special. You're strategically positioned just 20 miles from Naples and 15 miles from Fort Myers. That means you can drive to either city for dining, shopping, or entertainment without committing to live there full time. And before we go further, keep this in mind. When we talk about the healthcare triangle later, you'll see why this exact location plays such a key role in your peace of mind. But the best part, this little town has a population sweet spot of about 38,500 residents. So it's big enough for all the amenities you want, but small enough that you feel like a part of a community. Now let's talk about convenience. You're only 11 miles from Southwest Florida International Airport, about a 15-minute drive on a normal day. Compare that to Naples, where you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic and season. You also get access to the Gulf Coast Town Center for shopping and entertainment without dealing with the tourist crowds that Naples faces year-round. It's like having all the perks without the headaches. And it's worth noting something that hardly anyone talks about. Estero is one of Florida's newest municipalities. It was incorporated on the very last day of 2014, yes, just over a decade ago. But the median age tells a different story, around 65 years, which means you're surrounded by people in similar life stages. Plus, you've got direct I-75 access through exit 123 at Corkscrew Road. The location advantage is massive, but the real game changer is what this prime positioning actually costs you. And trust me, you won't believe how far your money goes here. Okay, this is where it gets good. While your neighbors are paying premium prices, you're accessing the exact same lifestyle for a much lower cost. I'm going to show you exactly how much you'll save. But before we go any further, let me quickly introduce myself. Hey, I'm John Garuti, and for over 6 years I've been helping people find their perfect home right here in Southwest Florida. If you're looking for a trusted source to learn what life here is really like, you're in the right place. Feel free to reach out using the contact information below. I'd love to help you personally. Now, let's break these numbers down. Starting with home prices. In October, Estero ranged from $490 to $555K compared to $580 to $675K in Naples. That's a difference of roughly $95,000 to $186,000. That's money that stays in your pocket instead of the builders. But get this, the property tax rate here is just 0.73 mils, the lowest in the entire state. For a $600,000 home, that's only $438 a year. You won't see numbers like that anywhere else around. And you know what? When we get to future growth, you'll see how those same low taxes are fueling upgrades most towns can only dream about. Now let's talk about insurance. Naples beachfront properties often pay $8,000 to $9,000 per year for homeowners insurance and more. In Estero, because you have a mix of inland and waterfront areas, your rates can be far more manageable. HOA fees vary by community, ranging from about $300 to $1,000 per month. But here's the difference. You're getting master planned amenities that would probably cost double in Naples. But do you know why discussing the cost is such a big deal? Because you're saving up to $186,000 on the purchase price, paying the lowest property taxes in the entire state, and enjoying comparable insurance rates. That's all about buying yourself more freedom, more flexibility, and more peace of mind for your retirement. So yes, the savings alone are impressive, but what good is saving money if you're bored? Let's look at the lifestyle you're getting for this price. Just imagine this. You wake up in your Estero home and have more recreational options within 25 minutes than most people get in an entire state. With one special bonus, you're not paying resort level fees. When I say 11 golf courses within village limits, I'm talking about 2 public championship courses and 9 private ones. But get this, there are 89 additional courses within 20 miles. If you love golf, this is paradise without the country club price tag. And before we move on, remember this. When we get into healthcare later, Estero, you'll see how this same community planning plays a major role in daily quality of life. Now, if you love nature, you're gonna like this part. The Estero Bay Preserve is Florida's first aquatic preserve, established back in 1966. It covers 10,000 acres with roughly 12 miles of trails. You also have the Caution State Historic Site right here in town, perfect for walking, kayaking, or just disconnecting for a bit. As for beaches, you're just 20 to 26 minutes from Fort Myers Beach and Bonita Beach, close enough for spontaneous day trips, but far enough to avoid the daily traffic and noise. What I love most about this place is the balance of community life. You've got a healthy mix of seasonal and year-round residents, which means amenities stay open, events stay active, and the energy doesn't fade. Recreation options? Endless. More than 30 gated communities offer resort-style amenities from active adult enclaves to full golf communities, all at price points that can fit nearly any retirement plan. So that's it. Here you can play around at Stony Brook or Old Corkscrew Golf Club in the morning, hike the Estero Bay Preserve before lunch, and shop at Gulf Coast Town Center in the afternoon. All without fighting those tourist crowds. But when it comes to a peaceful retirement, none of this matters if you can't get quality health care when you need it. And one thing I can promise you, that's not something you'll have to worry about here. Now, just between us, most major cities would envy what you have access to within a 15-minute drive of your front door. Right here, you've got Lee Health Coconut Point, a $140 million facility that opened in late 2018. It offers 24/7 emergency care, 16 exam rooms, and 9 observation beds. But that's just the beginning. Estero sits at the center of what locals call the Hospital Triangle. You've got Gulf Coast Medical Center just 8.2 miles away, Health Park Medical Center about 8.3 miles, and NCH North Collier Hospital roughly 12 to 15 miles from your home. That's world-class healthcare in every direction. You might not know this, but Gulf Coast Medical Center operates as a level 2 trauma center. That means comprehensive emergency and trauma services are just minutes away when you need them most. The medical corridor between Fort Myers and Naples is expanding quickly. Lee Health, HCA Healthcare, and NCH healthcare systems are investing heavily in the region, meaning this network of hospitals and specialists is only getting stronger every year. And the planning behind it all wasn't accidental. Estero's village design intentionally built medical access into the community layout from the very beginning. What gives me peace of mind is knowing this system is still growing. Lee Health has already received approval for a future bed tower expansion at Coconut Point, which means they're preparing for tomorrow's needs today. And you know what that means. You can retire here knowing that whether you need emergency care, specialized treatment, or just routine checkups, it's all within 15 minutes of home. That's better coverage than most big cities can even offer. The healthcare network is outstanding, but what truly sets this place apart is that the entire community was designed with retirees in mind. Alright guys, this is where things get interesting. Unlike towns that just grew over time, every part of this community was intentionally designed. I mean everything, from an infrastructure to amenities, all built around one goal, creating the perfect retirement lifestyle. And that's the advantage of being one of Florida's newest municipalities. Everything here was planned from the ground up with modern infrastructure and residents' needs in mind. You've got over 30 gated communities with resort-style amenities ranging from active adult enclaves to full golf communities. Behind all this is a serious investment in infrastructure. The village's budget totals $70.9 million, with $52.6 million dedicated to major capital projects, including $27.3 million for parks, $13.4 million for utilities, and $11.9 million for roadways. And keep this in mind, when we start talking about future growth, you'll see how these same investments set the stage for what's coming next. But here's the best part. Even with this level of investment, they've maintained the lowest property tax rate in the state, 0.73 mils. That's what true fiscal responsibility looks like, and it directly benefits you. The walkability improvements are just as impressive. Estero has over 73 miles of planned bikeways and walkways, including 10-foot shared use paths, bike lanes, and connected park routes. HOA fees vary depending on the community. You'll find options starting around $300 per month, all the way up to $1,000 a month in luxury developments. But the thing is, you're getting amenities that would cost twice as much in Naples. But beyond that, major infrastructure investments are underway. Right now, $60.9 million is being invested in septic to sewer conversions across 13 communities to help clean up the Estero River. They're also improving Estero River Park with better parking, new restrooms, bridges, and upgraded trails. These are long-term quality of life improvements. Estero's community planning is impressive for today, but what really excites me is what's next. The growth, investment, and foresight you see here all point to one thing: your investment is protected for the future. future. You know what separates smart investors from everyone else? They look at where a place is going, not just where it's been. And the growth story unfolding here will absolutely blow you away. The Corkscrew Corridor development represents a $27 million infrastructure upgrade with new lanes, walkways, and smoother traffic flow. This is all about preparing for the next decade of controlled growth. And what's coming next for housing? The Ritz-Carlton Residence Estero Bay South Tower just topped out at 22 stories with 112 luxury units scheduled for completion in 2026. And that's not all. New mixed-use projects like Woodfield Estero are bringing 596 residential units across multiple housing types, adding variety to the market. The commercial expansion is pretty exciting too. Woodfield's design includes a restaurant row with 82,000 square feet of retail and dining space. These mixed-use developments add restaurants, shops, and entertainment without losing the community's residential charm. Once again, it's the balance that gets me. The Village keeps the state's lowest property tax rate while still investing heavily in infrastructure and services, exactly what you want to see in a healthy, growing market. Looking at the numbers, the population has grown steadily from 37,000 residents to 38,507 projected for this year, about a 4.2% increase. That's growth that supports local business and infrastructure without overwhelming it. This kind of controlled expansion is exactly why Estero remains the perfect middle ground between Naples and Fort Myers. Close enough to both, but never overcrowded. Meanwhile, the Corkscrew Road Widening Project Phase 2 is on track for completion in late 2026, adding 4 lanes plus 10-foot bike and pedestrian paths. They're laying the groundwork for the community's future. All this leads to the question I get all the time. This place is so great, why isn't everyone talking about it? The reason is simpler than you might think. It's the million-dollar secret that connects everything we've talked about. It's all about the smart market positioning. You're getting the same sunshine, the same access, and the same coastal lifestyle as Naples, just at a much lower cost. We're talking $489K to $555K versus $580 to $675K median home prices. And you still have convenient access to Fort Myers without the sprawl or congestion. And what makes the timing even better? Right now, this market offers strong infrastructure growth, controlled development, and better value positioning. That 4.2% population growth over 5 years shows steady, sustainable expansion, the kind that builds equity, not chaos. You might not realize it yet, but this area gives you everything people move to Florida for. Amazing weather, golf, beaches, and top-tier healthcare, all within minutes, not hours. But unlike the better-known retirement markets, you're not paying for brand recognition, you're paying for proven value. So the takeaway, you're finding a smarter version of the Florida lifestyle, one that gives you everything you want without overpaying for the name. So there you have it. 7 reasons why Estero might just be Southwest Florida's most underrated place to retire. You've got the location, the value, the lifestyle, and the rare balance between luxury and practicality that makes living here feel effortless. If you're considering Estero for your retirement, I'd love to help you explore what's available. Email me at hello@swfloridarealestate.com. and I'll send you a current market inventory that matches what you're looking for. Now that you see why Estero offers such amazing value for retirees, let's zoom out for a second. The whole market is changing fast. Prices, inventory, and demand have all shifted, and it's creating opportunities we haven't seen in years. So go ahead and click the video on your screen. I'll break down exactly what's happening across the region and show you how to make the most of it.